What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 63 of the Hive Mind podcast. If I look a little sweaty, it's because I just got back from the gym, and I would take a shower, but daylight is burning, and I don't have much time before I have to get up and go to work tomorrow. So, let's get into it. Hive Mind number 63. I got some fun updates from the Zyback camp. I am no longer with Machinima. They fucking cut me. So I was thinking about leaving in the first place. I talked about this on a previous podcast where I was thinking about leaving Machinima in the summer, but those plans have been expedited. They ended up they didn't cut me. They basically said, "Hey, we're not gonna be doing." I don't know if I can talk about my specific deal, but there was an old way that people used to get paid on YouTube. And I was getting paid via that old way for a long period of time, for 5-6 years, I think. I think I can talk about it. I was getting paid through a flat CPM rate, which is basically we give you X amount of money for X amount of, or for 1,000 monetized views. That's what I had. I had a flat rate. It's a pretty good rate, which is why I stuck with them for fucking whatever, 5-6 years, however long it's been. And they said they are no longer offering that way of getting paid. And they ended up offering me, I don't know if, I didn't sign a fucking NDA, I'll tell it. They ended up offering me a 95% split. I didn't sign a fucking NDA. You can't fucking do shit about this, Machinima. But anyway, they ended up offering me a 95% revenue share, which is pretty good. But I think I'm going to do my own thing. I think I'm just going to stick with being a normal YouTube partner for a while, not with a network, and kind of just see how that goes. I have been doing more long-form videos and more political videos, so I don't think Machinima is the right fit for me anymore. The way networks, in my opinion, networks have changed a lot. When I joined Machinima in 2010, networks were the shit. Machinima was, king big dick on campus, and the money was there, and they really had the advertising was crazy back then. Machinima was, really on top of their game, and being in a network was for sure the way to go because they were selling tons of ads for you. And that is no longer the case, really. There's a lot more competition for networks, and the networks are seemingly a lot more specialized. The only way that I would join a network anymore is if there was a branding, or if there was a marketing team marketing my stuff specifically for me and my group of peers that I'm with. So Machinima is a big blanket network. They've got thousands and thousands and thousands of partners. Most of them are gaming, but it's not very specialized. It's a very big blanket they cast. And that means that they're selling, when they're selling specific ads, it's not very targeted. It used to be very targeted back in the day when there was less people, but it's very diluted. And now the way networks are is there'll be a Minecraft YouTuber network where it's the top 20 Minecraft guys, and they're in a YouTube network, and they are pushing to advertisers saying, hey, sell your children's toys ads on these Minecraft videos. We've got, the top 20 Minecraft YouTubers here, and they're able to get paid ridiculous amounts of money, which is just not the case for somebody like Machinima, where they've got 20,000 partners, whatever the fuck they have. It's not specialized, so I don't see a need to be in a network anymore unless somebody gives me an awesome offer, and then of course I'll take them up on it. So no longer with Machinima, so that's kind of exciting. We'll see how that pans out. But I do want to say that Machinima gets a lot of hate, and I feel like they treated me pretty fairly. I didn't have any real big issues with them over the past 6 years or so. I mean, they weren't the fucking greatest. I'm not like singing their high praises like they've helped me out a ton, but in terms of horror stories, not so much. It definitely, their value definitely, they're not as valuable as they used to be in terms of, they're literally not as valuable as they used to be, but they don't give you as much value as they used to back in like 2010. Back in 2010, man, being with Machinima was the fucking shit. Because you could upload your stuff to Machinima Realm, Machinima Respawn, Machinima Main Channel. I don't even think they do that anymore. And I don't know. It was just a way different culture back then. But I had a good time with Machinima. Well, I wear a lot of Machinima shirts. They sent me some free shit, so that was cool of them. But they made plenty of money off me, so I don't feel too bad about not signing back up again. But yeah, I'm also a verified partner on YouTube, which means I've got that little check mark next to my name. Finally, my internet dick is a little bit bigger now, and having that check mark is actually kind of cool because when you leave a comment on a random YouTube video, it kind of gives you a little more credibility because you've got this, verified check mark next to your name, and 99.999% of other people don't have it, so your comment kind of gets a little bit of extra love. I noticed that, because I watch a ton of YouTube videos and I leave a decent amount of comments, and I noticed that getting a lot more responses and stuff like that, which is fun because I like YouTube for the interaction. That is the one thing that I wish I had more of on my YouTube channel is just more people leaving comments and getting in the discussion. I'll have a lot of people watch a video. I have videos that have like 50,000 views and like 50 comments. I really wish I had more comments. So, yeah, let's move it on. I uploaded a spicy new drama video. It's called Pro-Death, The Case for Murdering Innocent Babies. Abortion a Necessary Evil, ? This is one of my more controversial videos I've put out as of recently. And I'm looking at the comments right now. And I was thinking this video was going to be like one of those 50-50 videos where it was half thumbs up, half thumbs down. Having a lot of people telling me to fuck off. But for the most part, people seem to have taken it positively. There's definitely some people that disagree with some of the things I said. Or not so much they disagree with some of the things I said, but the way I said them, I guess. Which is fair enough. But I was hoping it would be a little bit more drama-filled than it's been. But for the most part, a lot of people tend to agree with what I said, which is a little shocking. I don't know. I feel like I was pretty extreme, but whatever. I guess they are my audience, so I attract those kind of people. But anyway, let's move it on. This podcast, I know I say this a lot, but this podcast might really be short. It's 6:30, and I go to bed pretty early because I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and I've got to still eat dinner and take a shower and do a whole bunch of other bullshit, and then render and edit this video, and oh my god, dude, I'm cutting it close this week, boys and girls. Let's talk about the DeleteUber. So this is a new thing that happened today. There's a new trend on Twitter, #DeleteUber. Now, apparently, let me Google this and see if anybody has come up with some more information on this. Why people are deleting Uber from their phones. So, my understanding of this is that people are upset at Uber because Uber is not denying people service. So there is a right now there is a boycott. A lot of people in the New York City taxi. I'm sure I can just control F boycott, or well, maybe not. Wow. Strikes, yeah, that's the word. So right now, people are upset at Uber because they are continuing to offer their service despite another company striking. That's the most retarded shit I've ever heard. So, some other taxi company is on strike, and that's fine. That's part of the American system. You can go on strike if you're not happy with your working conditions. Whatever, that's fine. But people are pissed off that Uber is like, hey, they're on strike. You can still ride with us. And people are upset and saying, fuck Uber. Fuck you for, appealing to customers that want a product. That's retarded. That's like if Nike stopped making shoes and people were pissed off that you went out and bought Adidas because you needed a pair of shoes. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. What is going on? Oh, that's all I really can say about that. ordered a new pair of headphones. These fuckers are finally starting to crap out on me, man. These A40s, had them for a while. I'm starting to get some weird static, and the audio is cutting in and out, and I thought it was the mix amp, but I'm not really sure what it is, but I figured it was time to upgrade anyway. I'll show you guys what I ended up getting. Let me pull it up on Amazon here. Let me make sure I want to make sure I've got it right here. Your orders. Let's see. It's on my dad's Amazon account because we all mooch off this shit. Yeah, here it is right here. I ended up getting the Audio-Technica ATH M50X. These things are pretty legit. The leather I've heard is pretty nice, and yeah, that's what I ended up getting. A lot of people were telling me to get the Sennheiser headphones, but they're fucking really expensive. I feel like this is a good middle ground between, like, I'm not an audiophile, I believe is what they call them. I'm not. Let me make sure I'm not showing any info here. I'm not. Okay. I'm not an audiophile by any means. But you know, I want something pretty nice, and these are not USB. These actually go 3.5 millimeters, so that'll be a little different. I'm hoping that virtual audio cable recognizes them, because my normal earphones don't get recognized. I'll have to figure out something with that. But yeah, they're pretty nice. They are far superior audio quality than any actual gaming headset would be. And I highly recommend that if you are a hardcore gamer, fuck getting a gaming headset. Do not get gaming headsets. Get a professional audio headset and a professional audio microphone with a stand. Once you make the leap, you will never go back to having a shitty. I don't even have the mic attached. That's how much I haven't used the thing in years. But yeah, get an actual set of headphones, not headset, headphones, and a mic. People will love you for it because you'll sound amazing over Discord, and yeah. So, shit, dropped my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna be upgrading the old Zyback infrastructure here fairly soon. Well, not fairly soon. I'm in the looking phase for new PC parts, and when Crowfall turns into a game that I am playing regularly, I will be building a new PC, brand new everything across the board. It's been a few years since I've done that, and it's about time. But I am going to wait until the last second for the sake of money, really. Well, I have the money, but it's, there will either be something new that, like, there's no point in me doing it right now because there will be either something new that comes out or what I wanted to get will have dropped in price. And I'm not playing any games right now, so there's really no need for me to do that. However, one of the big things I'm going to try to be able to do with my new build is play in 1440p and record in 1440p 60 frames a second. That will be the big upgrade from your guys' perspective. But again, no point in me doing that right now because I'm not really playing that many games. But it's going to be a pretty significant upgrade cost, which, like, I shouldn't feel guilty about this because it's like a business expense. Like, I'll make the money back that I spent on this PC and this hardware, right? But I still feel guilty spending as much money as I'm going to spend, despite it being like 4 or 5 months away from now. But it's going to be expensive. It's going to be a few $1,000, and getting a 1440p monitor, that's going to be like $500, I think. I'm going to go 1440p, 144 hertz. So that's going to be pricey. But yeah, I'm excited though, because while that does make me feel like shit for spending that much money, that means that I have a video game to play. When I get this new computer, I'll actually be playing video games again. That's something that I've been wanting to do for so fucking long. Like, I can't wait to get into Crowfall and get into fucking trouble and some drama and, play games again and MMOs. Oh, it's going to be fun. I can't fucking wait. But I do feel guilty at the same time. Does anyone else feel like that? You just... I think... Yeah. I'm not going to get into that. Let's, Star Wars. The new Star Wars movie has a title. It's called Star Wars The Last Jedi. I already have an issue with the title of this. One of my biggest pet peeves with Star Wars is the whole like LOL, there's only one or two Jedi and Sith in the entire massive universe. I just think that's retarded. Maybe they're calling it The Last Jedi. So Jedi, the thing about Jedi is it's like the word deer. It can be both singular and plural. The Last Jedi could mean literally the last one. There's only one of them, or it could mean the last Jedi, as in the last tribe of Jedi or whatever. But I really hate that about Star Wars. How they've got this giant universe. It's just ridiculous. There's only a few Jedi and a few Sith, and I realized that wasn't always the case. Like in the prequels and stuff, there was more. And I realized they got eradicated with the whole Order 66 thing. Right? I get that, right? Despite Order 66, this is a universe with like trillions of people. This is a massive universe, and to think there's only, these few select Jedi and Sith is just ridiculous to me. And that there's only Jedi and Sith, and there's not like people in between, like gray Jedi. I realize I probably sound like a broken record if anyone's ever heard my Star Wars rants, but where are the people in the middle? Where are like the fucking redneck Jedi that don't give a fuck about the Jedi Order but are force sensitive? They are familiar with the lightsabers and that shit, but they just don't give a fuck because they're way off in Narnia Spaceland somewhere, and they're just not involved in the whole Galactic Empire Republic thing, right? So I just find that irritating. Like, there's got to be tons of people in the middle with the universe as big as Star Wars. I realize all the ladies right now, they're just wet as fuck hearing me rant about Star Wars not being realistic in my opinion, but I'm gonna go see the shit. I can't wait, but that title just not a fan of what that might entail. I've got a fun video to watch. Should I save this and do the videos all in one segment? Yeah, I'm going to save that, and we're going to do the videos all in one segment. Moving on. The Trump Muslim ban is fucking real. The madman is doing it. So, I am hesitant to call it the Trump Muslim ban because it's not really a Muslim ban. It's just a ban from countries that just so happen to have a good amount of Muslims in them. Like it's like you can be a Christian and be from these countries and still not be let into the United States. So it's not a Muslim ban, but it kind of is. I've never really had a huge stance on this, which is something I'm not proud. I kind of pride myself on taking a stance on a lot of issues where a lot of people don't. I really hate wishy-washy people, but this is kind of a tough one, right? So, a lot of people like to say like, "Oh, this Muslim ban, it's ridiculous because all of the real terrorists, they came from like Egypt and Turkey and Saudi Arabia, which are not on the Muslim ban list, and a lot of the countries that are on the Muslim ban list, literally zero terrorists have come from there that have harmed the United States in recent history anyway. So I get that. But I also get that the world is a different place now, these past few years, since it's been, it's different. Like, it's definitely different. And I think the real fear is that people don't want to see the United States turn into Sweden or Germany, where Sweden and Germany, let's be real, the fucking influx of refugees coming into Sweden and Germany and all these other European countries has only made shit significantly worse. It's a fucking nightmare over in Europe. And I realize we're coming from a different position because we have the Atlantic Ocean. Papa bless, God bless the Atlantic Ocean. But people don't want to see the United States turn into that. And if it did, let me pull up one of these. There are zones. There are no-go zones that occur in some of these European countries. I'm trying to find a picture. Muslim no-go zones. I can't believe that's a real thing that is like, I don't know if I can find a picture, but there are places where the police in Sweden and in Germany and in a lot of these other European countries, where the refugees have just infiltrated these fucking places and made them so toxic that there is no law and order at all in these particular areas. Like, the police don't even go there. And if that shit happened in the United States, it would get messy very quickly. Maybe that's not true in every single place in the United States, but down here in Southwest Virginia, that shit would not fly. That shit would not fly at all. Let me see. To put it, I'm trying to find a picture because they're ridiculous. Yeah, like here's a no-go zone right here, where it's just, anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way how to say this, but let me put it to you like this. If this happened in Southwest Virginia, law enforcement wouldn't even need to get involved. It would get that messy. So, yeah, that's you European countries. You guys are fucking nice. You're all like socially what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? You are very socially understanding. You guys are like, oh yeah, you've got it so rough out there. Like, the United States is not that. Like, it would go poorly. So people don't want to see the U.S. become Germany or Sweden or whatever. And I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I think that is the main fear. And while this Muslim ban, as they're calling it, I don't think it'll be that effective, and I don't think it really fucking matters that much, to be honest, because it's not a blanket wide thing, right? It's only for 90 days, and that's another thing I think is hilarious. So Obama has done the same thing. Obama banned people from coming into the country from, I think it was Iraq, for way longer, for like 6 months. Obama's done it and nobody gave a shit. Trump did it for 90 days and it's the end of the world. The whole thing's a shit show. I'm not sure where I stand on the issue. I definitely get both sides. Well, I get one side. Like, I get the conservative, or, the Republican side of, like, this is only gonna be bad. Like, where is the good gonna come from this? But I also get the other side of, like, this is kind of ridiculous. Is this really gonna help the top 3 countries where people are coming from that are the terrorists are not on this list? So, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. Moving on to the next issue. Dude, Trump, by the way, holy shit, has Trump gotten a lot done. Whether you agree with him or not, he has gotten so much done so quickly. Fucking Christ, dude. If any of this works out, like, if this ends up working out for him, I think he'll end up winning re-election easily, because he has done, like, I don't keep up with politics too much, but I can't think of any other politician that has just come in and gotten as much done as he has this quickly. Like, this is insane. So, the Great Wall of Trump is happening. Like, apparently they're starting, like, planning and construction, and the 20% on import tax on Mexican goods, that's likely to become a thing. Damn. So, this is another thing that kind of pissed me off this week. I don't think people understand how import taxes work. So one thing that people were saying was, this 20% tax on imported goods from Mexico, that means that Americans are going to be paying for the wall, because Americans are going to be paying that 20% tax. No, dumbass. That 20% tax is what they pay to import the goods in the first place. Now, what a lot of people seem to assume, because they're fucking retards, I guess, is that, oh, if they get taxed 20%, then that means the price of goods will go up 20% coming from Mexico, and then we pay that and we're inadvertently paying for the wall, right? No, that's not how that fucking works, because if goods coming from Mexico cost 20% more, unless you're loyal to some Mexican candy or Mexican Coke or something that absolutely only comes from Mexico, which is not much, you're going to buy the cheaper option. You're going to buy that thing that's made in America that is now cheaper than that thing that is made in Mexico if it goes up 20%. So what this in reality will do is it will make Mexican companies have to cut their margins. Mexican companies will make less money for the things they sell because they'll have to reduce their price to counteract the tariff or to counteract the import tax, and they'll have to sell and make less money because they'll still want to be competitive with other people importing stuff into the United States and United States goods. And let's not kid ourselves here. Mexico, they're not bringing in unique products. They're not making fucking iPhones over in Mexico. They're not making something in Mexico that can't be made anywhere else. That they just they don't have some big product that, you know, they don't have, you know, some crazy technological IP or something that absolutely only can come from Mexico. For the most part, it's, oh, we can make this in Mexico because they have a lower standard of living. Yay! It's cheaper there. Like we can get our fruits and vegetables and rice and corn and whatever the fuck we get from there cheaper because they can pay their people less. That's most of it. So, yes, the 20% import tax will absolutely work. We'll absolutely make our money back, and we will absolutely not pay more for. You might pay a little bit more for some specialty Mexican-only goods that I can't think of, but for the most part, it'll work. Now, whether you agree with it or not is a different story, and whether you think the wall is a good idea or not is a different story. But the import tax, in my opinion, would absolutely work. And it would probably pay for the wall very quickly because I'm sure we do a lot of, like, the wall is, it sounds expensive, but it's not that expensive when you compare it to the amount of money that would exchange hands between, you know, Mexico and the United States trading. So yeah, I don't know why. That's just silly to me. Another thing Trump did, Trump successfully pulled out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership this week. And plans to cut regulations by up to 75%. Jesus Christ, he's getting a lot of shit done. I think that's not the Trans-Pacific Partnership thing. I think everybody's kind of like, all right, Trump, good job on that one. Like, I think everybody's pretty cool with that one on both sides of the board. The cutting regulations by up to 75%. That is that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. The regulations. Like, I know Trump has said this, and I don't want to just parrot what Trump has said, but I've heard this in the past, even before Trump was even in the running for president. A lot of people, like a lot of companies and stuff, don't do business in the United States due to the regulations, and that's just it. They would rather go to some place where they can be a little bit, less by not so much less by the books, but just less red tape in general. So. I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want people like dumping battery acid into the ocean, but at the same time, you got to realize that this is a global game. And for example, here's a good example. China drills for oil off our fucking coastlines. They don't give a fuck about the environment. Beijing, you can't even breathe the air there. They don't give two shits in a fuck about our coastline, but they're drilling off our coastline. And they're not following any of the regulations that an American company would have to follow. And they don't give a fuck. They're destroying the reefs. They don't give two shits. And yet our American companies can't go do the same thing and be way more careful because they've got so many regulations put on them. So it's kind of unfair from a global perspective where we've got all these regulations and all these rules we have to play by because we're the morally superior people or whatever, when everybody else doesn't play by the same rules. So, yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? Like, it's another tough issue where it's like, yeah, I get that, some regulations are good, but at the same time, it's kind of fucking bullshit that nobody else seems to play by the same rules. Anyway, another thing Trump did, Trump revived the Keystone Pipeline and the Dakota Access Pipelines, creating thousands of steel jobs. Fucking hell, man. Is he getting it done or what? God damn. The Dow hit 20,000 this week. What's it at right now? Dow. It's still at 20,000, 20,093, which is a big deal. It's the first time the Dow Industrial Average has hit 20,000. For you people that are not investors, essentially the Dow Jones is a good benchmark, like things like the S&P 500 and other indexes. That's a good basically the economy is doing well under Trump. It hit 20,000, and to put things into perspective, it was at 18,000 under Obama. So it has gone up 10% in like a month, in a few months, like November to now, it's gone up 10%. That's fucking crazy. Could there be a correction? Absolutely, but I don't know, dude. It seems like everything is going pretty goddamn well under the Führer Trump. So I don't know, dude. It's supposed to be a disaster, but it's not. Like, everything is good. Here we go. We've got another thing Trump did this week. Senate Democrats unveil a $1 trillion infrastructure plan and offer support to President Trump. So Trump's infrastructure has gotten support of Democrats, and they're going to spend $1 trillion with a fucking T on infrastructure. $180 billion for rails and bus systems, $65 billion for ports, $110 billion for water and sewer, $100 billion for energy, $20 billion for public and tribal lands, and I'm assuming the other $525 billion is going to go to roads and bridges. I would guess they didn't really specify what the other $525 billion was going to go to, but I'd guess roads and bridges because that's not on this list, and I would assume that's probably most of the spending, or most of it goes. But $1 trillion in infrastructure spending, that's a lot. So I am for government infrastructure shit. I'm a really conservative guy, low taxes, less government is better, blah blah blah, right? But when it comes to military and the infrastructure and stuff like that, I'm kind of okay with them spending $1 trillion on improving roads, bridges, and all that stuff, right? Because privatizing that stuff can get a little messy, and I don't know. I guess I'm cool with that. And it will create a lot of fucking jobs, that's for sure. But $1 trillion is a lot. But I'd rather spend $1 trillion on infrastructure than $1 trillion blowing up who gives a fuckistan over in the Middle East. So, yeah. A lot of Trump shit this week. But he's gotten a lot done. So, let's pull up the old Instagram here and talk about the Trump protest. Oh, let's see your Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram. Instagram.com/ZybackTV. There was a pretty iconic... I think this picture is going to be an iconic picture that we look back on in like 15, 20 years. Now, while I don't agree with what Greenpeace did here, it's pretty gangster. Like, goddamn, was that like the perfect... Like, that's one hell of a picture there. So, for you people that are listening, it is... It's the White House, and what they did, it's a picture of the White House, and there's a crane in the background with a banner that says resist, like clear as day. And what Greenpeace did, which is the organization behind this, is they saw that there was a crane near the White House. They got some people to climb up that crane, and they went and hung a banner that said resist. Now, I think that's fucking retarded, but I do have to admire how like creative and clever this was, because this picture really is something else. And yeah, so the reason I have an issue with this is because they're disrupting, they're causing a shitload of disruption here for innocent people. Like, construction sites in DC in particular, God knows how much money that construction company lost because some assholes decided to climb up a fucking crane and hang a banner. And they didn't just hang the banner and leave. No, they hung the banner and stuck around for hours, shutting down that construction site, costing the company tons of money. Because, I mean, everything in DC is fucking expensive. And, you know, you're on a construction project next to the White House, you know, some of the most expensive real estate in the world, and you assholes shut the whole shit down because you think it's cute to climb up there with a fucking banner. And it'd be one thing if they hung the banner up, got the picture, and let it go, but they did babysit that thing, and it's shitty to me. So I'm not a fan of that. Like, don't fuck with people's jobs. Come on. Scrolling through my list of shit here. I think we're about to get into the, sorry, I'm looking through my list here. Oh, and the last thing I want to talk about this week, which is just hilarious, is how ridiculous it is. A New York TV executive gets 25 years to life for beheading his wife. Now, this is where it gets funny. So, I can't, like, this shit writes itself. Like, you can't make this shit up. A former television executive was sentenced to 25 years to life on Wednesday for the beheading death of his wife. After an hour of deliberation, blah, 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 blah. In February of 2009, Hassan, who founded a TV network aimed at countering Muslim stereotypes, went into a police station in Buffalo, New York, and told officers his wife was dead. This guy made a news station to counteract Muslim stereotypes and then fucking beheaded his wife. He beheaded her with a long knife and left marks. Oh my God. So yeah, I'll link the story. Jesus Christ. What a shit show. Starts his own TV network to counteract the negative impressions people have against Muslims, and then beheads his fucking wife. Jesus Christ. Alright, well, that's it for main topics this week. I've got some funny ass shit, though, that I found on the internet this week. Let's pull up the podcast bookmarks here. My favorite thing is this. So this is unfortunately there's no audio for this, but this is in the running for one of my favorite videos on the internet of all time. It's up there. So this is footage of mascots playing kids in a football game. So I'm assuming this is like some this is obviously played in a stadium. So I think this is like a halftime gig where the little tykes come out and play against the mascots, and the mascots, you would assume, are supposed to like play down and not play to win, but these fucking mascots play at 100% against these children, and it is hilarious. So I'm gonna play this video for you. This shit's great. So, this media cannot be played. No, you're fucking kidding me. I hope it's just a bug. Okay, no, it's a bug. So here we go. First clip, guy in a Denver Broncos mascot. He just hurdles this kid. Next clip, boom. Dude gets jacked up by what is that, a coyote? Oh, this shit's fan. I really wish there was audio for this. But these mascots are playing serious. They're doing like corner blitzes and linebacker blitzes and laying some serious hits on these kids. And they're mascots from, I don't know where they got all these fucking mascots from, but they're mascots from various teams. And I remember Dopamine on a previous podcast saying, oh shit, this video is great, man. And the mascots are taunting these children. They're like pushing them and absolutely playing at 100%. Some of these mascots are fucking fast too. These guys aren't fucking around. Anyway, I'm not going to play the whole video, but you get the gist. I'll link it because it's fantastic. Truly one of the greatest videos on the internet. Let's pull up another video here. Podcast bookmarks. What is this? I'm not going to get into that. Ted Cruz went off on somebody this week. So Ted Cruz put out a thing saying how he was playing basketball in the White House or something, and how he wasn't very good or something. And Deadspin said, if anyone has proof of Ted Cruz playing basketball, send it to us. And Ted Cruz sent a picture of that Duke basketball player. I can't think of his name. He's the really dirty one, but he looks exactly like Ted Cruz. So Ted Cruz sent in this tweet to Deadspin. And Deadspin's response was, go eat shit. So Ted Cruz just owned these guys via Twitter. And they look like real fucking assholes. So fuck Deadspin. And way to go, Ted Cruz. That's something I never thought I'd say. But way to go, Ted Cruz. What else we got here? Oh, shit. Oh, we got 2 awesome videos. 2 great videos. So this is another one of my favorite things that happened this week. So to give you a little context, Shia Buff set up this 24/7 live cam where people chant, "He will not divide us," in protest of Trump. So in response to that, some people on 4chan have decided to fuck with these people and troll them. So what this guy did is, if you're not familiar with the Pepe the Frog, most of you guys are, but frogs, when one of the noises frogs make when they get angry is they go ree, really fucking loud. So any of you memers will be familiar with the ree fucking normies meme. So what this guy does is he just starts reeing at this "he will not divide us" thing, and it is fucking hilarious because this guy loses his mind.
Divide us. He will not 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 divide us. He will not. Get the fuck up! Get the fuck up! Get the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! He will not divide us. Neither will fucking he. So don't come out here if you're a troll. He will not divide us. Allahu Akbar. Divide us.
Like how the guy goes, "Allah Akbar." Holy shit. That's fucking fantastic. And the last video this week is Donald Trump Profanity Edition. This is great because there is no other politician that has done this shit. That I can't think of any other politician that has just come out and had just like crazy clips of him cursing and this is great. Here's the clip.
It's political bullshit.
She said he's a pussy.
They're ripping the shit out of the sea. We can't get a fucking school built in Brooklyn.
You're not gonna raise that fucking price, you understand?
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. Listen, you motherfuckers, we're gonna tax you 25%. It's political bullshit.
It's fucking great. I'll link the video. I think the video just repeats itself over and over again, but that's why people like Trump, man, because he just says the fucking crazy shit. He says what everybody thinks. And even though he's a fucking buffoon in a lot of ways, I do respect the fact that he's like, this is bullshit. He says it's bullshit. So, that's the appeal. I'm looking through my list here, seeing if I missed anything. Don't think so. Sorry, I'm a little out of it right now this week. I just don't have much time, man. I gotta get this fucking thing out because people will be pissed if I'm late. I've made 63 episodes of this podcast, and they've all come out on time. Never missed a week. So if I missed a week, they'd be fucking furious. Let's pull up the comments here. Let's see here. Sorry, I was not prepared for this. All videos, 62. What the fuck, dude? I haven't watched you since 2012, 2013. Congrats on the weight loss. Thank you very much. The Women's March was on Trump, was protesting birth control and abortions. Tier sets. Some of these comments I'm not going to address because I'm running out of fucking time here. Sorry, guys. But they aren't like, they're more statements, not questions. Can we see your stomach already? And I replied, nope. Dude, my shit's starting to come together, man. I know I've been saying that for a while, but starting to really see it in the mirror now because I'm getting to the point where I don't have much fat. Like it's only going to come off a few certain areas because I'm getting some, like, crazy vascularity and shit now. So I don't know how long it's going to be before I make the before and after video, but I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Because I don't have that much more like it's going to have to start coming off my stomach here pretty soon. Moving on. Will I be playing the Final Fantasy 15 DLC? It depends on what it is. If it's story-based, then yeah, but if it's like Chocobo, random mini-games or something, probably not. Power Rangers trailer looks fucking sick. I don't know about fucking sick, but it does look like a fun movie. Netflix is trash in Canada too. Too bad they failed to kill the IP changers. Too bad for them. They failed to kill the IP. I'm not sure what that means. I like Netflix. RSI should just sell to Amazon or a big game company to finish the game. Dude, if Robert Space Industries or whatever the fuck that stands for, if the Star Citizen guys have to sell out to a bigger company because they couldn't make an MMO for $160 million or whatever the fuck they've raised, that will be tragic and hilarious. Happy birthday, Zyback. Thank you very much. Using little girls as Pokemon. What the fuck does she mean? I don't know. Tier 20. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. Have I ever played Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons? I recently got into it, and it's nice to meet new people and fellow gamers IRL. No, I have never really been into like physical gaming, like with Magic cards or Warhammer 40k or any of that stuff. Never been into it. That stuff is pretty expensive, and it's one of those things where I just have a feeling I'd buy it and not use it, like most people do. Like most people that buy Magic cards aren't actively playing Magic, and most people that buy those Warhammer figurines aren't actively like playing and using them. And video games, like when I get really into a video game, that's just like my life. And no, but it does seem like it's like I heard that PAX is doing a PAX on, is it PAX? I don't know who it is, but they're doing PAX Unplugged or whatever, whoever's doing it, where instead of electronics, it's all board games, and I think that is potentially pretty cool. But I'm not much of a board game guy. But I think it's cool that you are, and I think that's neat that you're meeting people in real life that are, you know, gamers, because that's kind of hard to do, because it's very easy to close yourself in your room and not talk to people in real life as a gamer. Have you ever tried reading manga? Manga. I said manga. I've got Trump on the brain. Have I ever tried reading manga? Anime can be quite polarizing in terms of people enjoying it or not. But manga is a breath of fresh air. If you're bored, try reading Berserk. Yeah, I read... okay. This guy is saying if I don't read manga, he will convert to radical Islam and bomb my ass. Shit, son. No, I don't... No, I have not tried reading manga, and I'm not really into anime. I'm into some stuff. Like I'm not completely against anime, but most of it I don't like. Like that Tales of Symphonia game. That's one of my favorite games of all time. That's like an anime style game. I like that game. That Avatar cartoon, I remember when that came out. That shit was pretty dope. Dragon Ball Z, I never got into that. I know people are gonna fucking crucify me for this, but Dragon Ball Z I've always thought was kind of retarded. Even as a kid, it was always like, Gah! Like it was just fucking screaming and people just getting more powerful because they like, for the sake of getting more powerful. And I don't know, the whole thing I just thought was ridiculous even as a kid, so I never really got into that. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. People are gonna fucking crucify me for that. Like, people are gonna be more upset about my views on Dragon Ball Z than my views on abortion. Like, let that sink in. Moving on. I like that Blizzard is updating the armor sets. It's a good way to update all the armors to Legion standard. Yeah, that's cool, man. I think it's cool they're updating the sets. That would be great, right? If they updated the sets, but I don't like that they're updating the sets in lieu of making new armor sets. Like, if you want to update the old sets and come out with a new version that is, I don't know, you get for doing something else, but don't replace the tier gear with rehashed bullshit. Come on, that's lame. WoW, most of WoW armor was low poly mesh templates. Yeah, it was all you know. The World of Warcraft looks a million times better than it used to, but it should because it's old as shit. And there is a lot of discrepancy between the old gear and the new gear, but I think that's kind of cool. There is an advantage that this guy's talking about. Tax advantage for marriage. I've heard the tax advantages for marriage are dramatically overblown. That in a lot of ways, being married is a disadvantage in some cases. So I'm not going to get married for many reasons other than tax reasons, but I've heard it's a little bit overrated in a lot of scenarios. Yo, have you seen the video of the Dutch comedian talking about the Netherlands being second to America? I have not seen that. As a Brit, I find it hilarious that basically half of America voted Trump and half voted for Clinton. So why are 99% of Americans butthurt? Trust me, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out a lot of you are confused and don't know who you voted for. No, that's not true at all. The reason why it seems like 99% of Americans are butthurt is because the people that are butthurt are fucking so loud and so obnoxious and cry so much that it just seems that way. All the people that are happy with Trump are going to work having a good time. This is like, right now it's like the video game. It's like a video game forum where you don't see people go on the forums of your favorite video game and go, hey, I think you guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I'm a very happy customer. You don't see people type out forum posts like that frequently. You only hear the bitching. And that's exactly what's going on here. There's plenty of people that are happy as fuck with Trump. The fucking Dow Jones is at 20,000. Tons of people are happy. Fuck, I'm pretty happy. Shit's going pretty well as it seems, seemingly. So, yeah, no, you just don't hear those people because they're going about their life, having a good time, you know, taking in the sunshine and rainbows while these other people are losing their minds. So, yeah, that's why you don't hear about it. I believe Ashley Judd is from the South, so I guess that's where that twang came out. By the way, as a woman, these bitches need to sit down. They want to play oppressed, go to the Middle East. Those women should be marching, not ours. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's okay to march and shit, I guess. I mean, it's important that stays like a right, but a lot of that is ridiculous, especially considering that one women's march woman. I actually had this as a topic, but I didn't want to bring it up as that. But since we're on it, here it is. What's her name? I had it right here. Donna Hilton. Donna Hilton was one of the speakers at the women's march. It turns out she killed and tortured a man. And is protesting for women's rights. And get this shit. I want to see if this is still the case. I'll pull up her Twitter here. Donna Hilton. The nerve of this woman. Look what she has on her fucking Twitter bio. Humanitarian. She tortured and murdered someone, and she has humanitarian as the first thing on her Twitter profile. Are you fucking kidding me? And the way she tortured this man is brutal. It's fucking brutal. She fucking crushed his testicles with pliers and shoved a metal rod up his ass. And she said that shoving the metal rod up his ass wasn't torture because she thought he was gay or some shit. Like, she said something fucking ridiculous to that degree. So fuck that. It's unbelievable. Moving on. Minecraft videos are like that because they appeal to young teenagers. Yeah. Yep. And next. Yeah. All right. Lol at the feminists. Go by the pussy. Sorry, I feel bad for a lot of you guys that left comments, but a lot of these are statements, and I'm just running out of fucking time. I really like the Logan movie trailers. I have high hopes for it. Imagine if all the Wolverine movies were R-rated, the world would be a better place. I agree, dude. I want more R-rated superhero movies. I want more stuff like The Watchmen. Somebody asked me in another comment, I think this was on a different video, what I thought of The Watchmen. I want more stuff like The Watchmen. When was the last time I played Battlefield 1? A few weeks after launch. I'm not a huge Battlefield guy, but Battlefield is a great game. Battlefield 1's a fucking pretty sick game. Thanks for getting up and doing the podcast early. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you appreciate my work ethic. Yo, Zyback, been watching the podcast since episode 1. Haven't listened in a while, but they're not as good without a co-host. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a co-host, but keep in mind, guys, I do this YouTube thing as a hobby. Like, I'm busy as fuck now. I know a lot of people say that, and I've never been one to say that, even when I did YouTube full time, but like, shit, am I fucking busy now. Like, Monday through Thursday, I am fucking slammed. And then Friday, man, I'm fucking busy now, so I apologize for, maybe some stuff not being as good as I'd like it to be, but I'm busy nowadays, guys. I think one reason that we react that way to fat people is due to our tribal instincts. If someone is fatter, it means they're usually overeating. When food was scarce and a competitive resource, it could have meant life and death. I don't know if it's so much that, but I think that people can realize that being fat is not healthy when you're fat to a crazy degree. Because, when people really were starving to death, being fat was a sign of, wealth and respect almost. Like, if you were fat, you were respected, but that was fat within reason. Like, back in the old-timey days where people like to say being fat was a sign of wealth, they weren't getting fat like we're getting fat. They were getting fat like, oh, you can't see his fucking ribs? What a fat fuck. Now people are like wheeling around in mark carts and shit. The level of fatness has and we've really stepped the game up, man. Some guy got into a debate with me about cholesterol levels. I'm not gonna get into that shit. Basically, this guy basically links to something saying how I need to be careful about my cholesterol because he's talking about my diet, and then I linked him to a study that says that dietary cholesterol has no effect on your body's cholesterol levels, which is a lot of like a pretty common, a pretty common result that's happened from these studies. It's come out that in a lot of cases that dietary cholesterol has no effect. Like if you eat like fucking 16 eggs a day, it's not going to make your cholesterol go up. And basically what the conclusion of this conversation is that science is bullshit, because here's the thing, right? Eggs, in my lifetime alone, eggs have been unhealthy for you, healthy for you, unhealthy for you, healthy for you, unhealthy for you, and now I believe eggs are good for you again. That's the thing, dude. Anytime you talk about science in terms of health, like if, you gotta have a high protein, low carb diet, or high carb, low protein, or whatever the fuck the current scientific study is, I can almost guarantee you that there will be another study that's out that completely contradicts it. So my fucking stance on it is I'm going to eat fucking eggs and I'm going to have a good time because it doesn't seem to fucking matter because everyone is different. So you can't win. You can't win. If you live your life by these studies, you're doomed because another study is going to come out and contradict that study that you lived your life by. It's happened a shitload of times in my short little 24-year experience on this earth. Bro, I want to go see that Power Rangers movie too. Yep. Dude, that theme, man, they better nail that Power Rangers theme. The Power Rangers theme song is one of the greatest theme songs ever. The instrumental, like oh man, it's so good. I would just YouTube search Power Rangers instrumental. Like it's good as fuck. Zyback, do you have any tips to gain weight? I'm 5'10", 130 pounds, and I used to have an eating disorder, but I started eating a lot, and it's not making a difference. I basically told this guy that he needs to eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight, and then make sure you're eating some good carbs like rice and potatoes, and then get dirty with it. Eat some peanut butter, eat some really calorically dense foods, and essentially just told this guy he's got to eat more. And his response is, thanks, man, I've been eating quite a bit, but I haven't been eating enough I told him to work out, too. Haven't been eating enough protein. I've been eating peanut butter sandwiches, which has helped me a lot. So not getting me where I want to get to. Try to track my calories more and eat more protein. Yeah, that's the thing. Most of these tiny guys that can't put on weight just really don't eat enough, or what they eat is not very calorically dense. So peanut butter is a good thing, man. If you're trying to gain weight, peanut butter it's very calorically dense. So you gotta be sure you gotta get the good shit in before you get the bad shit in. Because I've known of people that eat, 5,000, these little tiny guys that eat 5,000 calories a day and they can't gain weight. But the thing is they're eating like 5,000 calories of like ice cream and Doritos and just empty bullshit. And they're not lifting weights or anything, right? And they're like, dude, I'm trying to get bigger, can't get bigger. I'm eating all this food, right? But they're just eating shit food. You gotta be sure that you're getting your protein and your good carbs and all that shit while also working out. And then, like, if you get all the good stuff, you get your protein numbers, right? Then you can eat the ice cream and the Doritos and all that bullshit for the calorie bump, right? But you gotta eat some of the good shit anyway, because, yeah. I'm not a dietary expert, but every time I've told people that, and every time I've heard, football coaches and stuff, because, I've played sports throughout the years, and there's always a few little guys trying to bulk up, and it's always the same case where they're either lying about how much they eat, because they usually don't eat that much, or they're eating a lot, but it's just shit. Like, it's just empty shit that your body can't build any fucking muscle with, so. What happened to Dope? Yeah, Dopamine is busy as fuck. He's pursuing his master's degree alongside all the family and work stuff. So, yeah, that's why Dope is no longer on the podcast. No drama or anything. Love listening to these while doing WoW mount runs. Glad you like it. How many calories have you been cutting down to? I've been doing 700, but I'm shorter than you, so it's probably relative. Yeah, the lowest I go is 1,000. The only reason I do 1,000 is because I can go as low as 1,000 and still get my protein numbers. If you cut your protein too much, then you could potentially lose muscle. So I'm doing a gram of protein per pound of body weight, which a lot of people consider overkill. A lot of people think a lot of stuff has come out saying that the 1 gram per pound of body weight is way too much. But the thing about protein is that your body will convert it into carbohydrates if you have too much of it. Like if you have too much protein, your body goes, yep, all right, we got enough. We're going to convert this extra protein to carbs and we're good to go. So you really, I'm sure you could eat too much protein and have a negative effect on your body, but not really. So I prefer to have too much than not enough in terms of protein, because if you're not eating enough protein and you're working out and you're doing some cardio, then you could be potentially cannibalizing some muscle there. So I do 1,000 calories because 1,000 calories, it allows me to eat 200 grams of protein and some broccoli and, mainly it's chicken I eat, which is, 90% of it. But I throw some broccoli in there for some fiber and, so my shits aren't disastrous. The Women's March is Occupy Movement Act 2, and I responded, judging from the physiques of people I saw in the crowd, they definitely occupy more space. What are my thoughts on peer-to-peer lending, like Lending Club, Fundraise, and Reality Shares? I tested out Lending Club with $25, and I get 85 cents every month with that. Imagine if I put 5 or 10K into it. So, the premise of these Lending Club and Fundraise websites is instead of somebody going to a bank and getting a loan, they go to you and get a loan. And these are like apps where you put in $25 and people, you slowly make your money back, right? But I've heard they're very risky, and there's like a big chance that your money, that the people just don't pay up and they just default on their loan, and then you're fucked. But this guy responded, not sure if I agree. Lending Club lets me diversify my notes by splitting it up into 25 mini notes across borrowers. So if one guy loses his job and defaults, I don't lose all my money. They also let me filter by criteria. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, sure, anyone can lose their job and default, but right now, I'm collecting 15.99% from a guy with a 719 credit score. It feels nice to it's nice to feel like a credit card company for once. It's one of those things where I'm going to stick with the traditional shit. I'm going to stick with my index funds and my, investing in companies, because I'm investing in something that is like real and tangible. If I like what Amazon is doing, I can, own a percentage of them, right? And this is something where it's in that too good to be true category. I've read up about it, and I think it's cool, but there'd be a lot more fucking people doing it, man. You'd be seeing Warren Buffett and all these other motherfuckers doing it if it was as consistently reliable through the years as the stock market is. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. I'm glad you're having success with it. 15.99% is a good fucking return. Good for you. But I have a feeling that you haven't been burned yet. We'll see what your returns are when you get burned by a few people, and your investment all of a sudden is zero. Like your principal investment all of a sudden is now gone. So, but yeah, no, I'll keep a lookout for it. It's interesting. I've been seeing people play Star Citizen on Twitch. Is that the beta? And I said they're playing a small segmented vertical slices of the game. This guy commented, Sweden has a rape problem? That sounds like xenophobic propaganda if I've ever heard it. Maybe I'm wrong. Can someone point me to the proof? And then I linked him to the proof. And the proof is damning. And then some guy backed me up. So, feels good. You guys got my back. I feel like the podcasts go by fast. You should get a co-host. That's a good thing if they're going by fast. But yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a co-host. Not sure if I'll get one, because the thing is I know I sound like I'm making excuses and shit, but I'm really fucking busy nowadays. And me doing these solo, it's kind of nice because, I just got back from the gym at like 6:30 and not having to coordinate with somebody else saying, hey, can you make it at this time, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of nice just so, I can do this shit at 2 a.m. if I have to. Question for Zyback, what's the favorite thing about your childhood? And I said, probably athletics or the first few years of WoW. Isn't that crazy that the first few years of a video game like World of Warcraft, a lot of people would think like athletics and, playing high school football and, that shit, right? Like that's like the glory days, right? When in reality, like, isn't that kind of sad? Like, I guess it's not sad. I had a good time, but in a lot of ways, the glory days for me really were those first few years of WoW where I was in this fucking magical world, being exposed to all this new shit, meeting new people from all around the world. That was really fucking cool. that first MMO experience, the first real one. I played RuneScape Classic, but that really wasn't. That was not the same. But like talking to Australians and working together with people to accomplish a goal, and then accomplishing that goal, and then slowly through the years becoming a good player, becoming to the point to where becoming one of the best players, third best in the world at what I did, was really cool. Like that was what a fucking fun journey World of Warcraft was for me. And while I don't really play it anymore, I don't play it anymore. Damn, dude. I owe that game a lot. And that game really did change my fucking life for the better. The whole YouTube thing launched for me because of it. Zyback was born, for better or worse. And, yeah. So I think World of Warcraft, athletics shaped my life a lot too. But World of Warcraft, I think that really is that defining moment, man. That 12 years old, created the name Zyback, and that fucking... The rest is history, really. So, it sounds cheesy as fuck, I know, but it's true, man. Shit really did change my life. Question for Zyback. When you work out, do you get all veiny in your arms and chest? Every time I lift weights, I look like a beast from the movie Split. I don't know what that is. Yes, that's called getting a pump, dude. That's that increased blood flow, and it's fucking fun. You look good as fuck when you get done working out. If you want to do something really fun, eat some like really salty potato chips before you work out. That raises your blood pressure some. Then you look good as fuck. Because you look really veiny when you do that. Zyback, I saw a study that says cardio and weight training done together can have a negative impact. Yeah, if you do if you do a ton of cardio, like if cardio is your main emphasis, then it can be bad for gaining muscle. But I do cardio, it's very clearly a secondary activity for me. I lift before my cardio, and if I am dying, like if I'm doing cardio to the point to where it's gonna fuck up my leg workouts or fuck up my lifting, I cut it back. Like today I only did 30 minutes on the treadmill. And I don't do crazy, like I'm not like running. I'm literally just doing inclined walking at a relatively fast pace at like a 10% incline, which is kind of tough in my opinion. Maybe I have shit cardio, but man, when you put that incline up, it's you start to feel it, man. But yeah, no, cardio is definitely a secondary activity for me. And I'm making sure I'm having a real conscious effort in the weight room to lift heavy. I'm constantly trying to send my body the signal of gotta get stronger, bitch, gotta get stronger. So I'm definitely making sure to go heavy, even if it fucks with some of my reps. Like I'll bump the weight up, and I try to do like sets of 8. That's the rep scheme I work on. But as of recently, I've been bumping the weight up a little bit aggressively, and sometimes that fucks with the amount of reps I can do. Like I'll bump the weight up on like, let's say one of these like machines, for example. Machines, they're easy to bump the weight up because it's just like sliding a pin in and out, right? So I'll be doing my sets of 8, and I'll be like, fuck it, let's bump the weight up. And I can't quite get 8. I'll get like 5 or 4 or whatever, good reps. But I'm trying to keep that signal to my body saying like, hey, gotta get stronger, bitch. Don't burn that muscle off doing cardio. You gotta keep that muscle. That's the idea anyway. That's bro science as fuck, but from what I've read, if you focus on strength, you're less likely to lose muscle. So that's what I'm doing. Some guy was talking to me about the divorce rate, which I agreed with him. Cardio equals harder cock, and my response is it does improve circulation. I know you don't like these questions, and you always say I'll make a video when I'm done or something like that, but how much weight have you lost, and how long have you tried? I lost 40 kg, 88 pounds in the last 4 or 5 months without working out at all. And I responded, I lost 135 pounds over about a year and a half, currently 200 pounds, and I'll probably end up stopping around 190 before I focus on bulking up. So that's the thing. I don't know what my stopping weight is. I'm pretty fucking lean right now, but I want to get a little leaner. I'm not trying to get like crazy shredded because there's no point in me getting crazy shredded because I don't have any muscle to show off really because I've been on a diet for a year and a half. But I want to get a little leaner. I want to see what I look like when I'm relatively lean. I don't give a fuck about having some crazy six-pack or anything like that, because I probably won't have one because my abdominals are not as developed as I'd like them to be in terms of strength. But, yeah, no, I want to get a little leaner. I'll probably get down to 190, see what that does for me. I can't have that much left, dude. I really can't. Like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror some days. I'm like, dude, where the fuck? Like, this fat has got to come off my stomach. Like, soon. Like, I got nowhere else for it to go. I've got a little bit on that ass, but, and it's coming off. I'm starting to notice it, so. Oh, there's the comment. What do I think of Watchmen? There it is. It's great. I want more shit like Watchmen. Anyway, that's it for the comments this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Sorry if this was a bit of a rushed episode and not as good as the previous ones have been. I feel like the last episode I did was actually pretty good. But I just running out of time, man. It's 7:30 and I still got to eat, take a shower, and get ready for work tomorrow. Fucking hell, man. Your boy is busy. God damn, this IRL shit is killing me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out the podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitch. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to grow my Instagram following because I have kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit of an Instagram whore now. I've only posted 3 pictures, but I'm going to start posting some pictures here pretty soon because my life is actually kind of interesting now sometimes. Like, that's one of the biggest things I didn't, like, one of the reasons I didn't have an Instagram for so long is because I just didn't do anything other than sit in my fucking room and play, like, WildStar all day. But now that I'm actually, like, doing IRL shit and, like, involved, follow me on Instagram. God damn it. Shit. It's not like you're doing anything anyway. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed Hive Mind number 63, right? Yeah, 63, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.